YouTube, welcome to the top 16 by watching, liking, commenting, subscribing as long as you can. I greatly appreciate that. That supports our videos immensely. And with that said, Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
It is the new ban list where Konami has finally killed off Snake Eyes, right? By putting Ash to 1 and the Wanted Seeker to 1, we shall not see any Snake Eyes in the top 16. That's false. There's probably going to be a lot. I do not have on me. I don't know what the top 16 looks like. So maybe it's all Snake Eyes, maybe it's not. But right now it's Heroes versus Labyrinth. Begin. Set 3 pass. Ain't no way. We have Imperm, and Dogmatica punishments. We have triple disruption here. Reinforcing the army. When should you Imperm against heroes? I like Imperming the Vision Hero increase. That's attempting to summon from the deck. That could be a pretty good negate. It is a hard once return. The Ferris gaining access to it is also a good negate. Negating the Vian itself, it may be also a very good option to use your negate on. So there you go, no Vision Hero increase. Shokaning into the Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader is going to target a monster in the graveyard, special summon it, then tribute it to get searching. We're now going to use the Dogmatica punishment, which is going to use the Malong to return the Malicious back to the hand. That's interesting. Okay, how do we deal with Malicious banishing from the grave to summon from the deck? By returning it to the hand, and thus they're now done. We're not even setting the droplet, holding the Imperm in the hand. We do have Nibiru, but there's nothing to do. Bro, what? We also have nothing. We can't do anything. We're both bricking. We have transaction rollback to copy nothing in the opponent's graveyard. If our impermanence goes to the grave, we could then copy it with the transaction rollback. Finally, we have something. Big Welcome Labyrinth is ready to summon from the hand, deck, or grave, then return back to the hand. But now we have Ash Blossom to negate. Negate the Big Welcome Labyrinth, which is what the transaction rollback is for, to then further copy the Big Welcome Labyrinth, but not while it's on the field. It has to be in the grave to copy the Big Welcome. So how do we get it in the grave if the opponent does not get their own impermanence in the grave? There is Ariane is one that could send a trap on your field to the graveyard to then summon from the deck. That would be a way, but I'm not sure if Labyrinth players are really playing that. I could look up the analytics in a bit. You have Vision Hero increase. If Vision Hero increase is sent to the graveyard, then the opponent deals battle damage to us. We can then equip it from our graveyard into the back row. Do we tribute someone for Malicious? Like, what do we do here? Chain Maxi to the Welcome Labyrinth. This is a ridiculous back and forth boomer Yu-Gi-Oh game here. 2100 defense. Ariana searching for our Stovey. Stovey in the end phase will be setting up a trap, so we'll be set up with that. Vian send from the deck a Shadow Mist, which we're not using impermanence on. Vian is then going to be banishing for the graveyard to grab the Polymerization, all within main phase 2. We're likely summoning a DPE. DPE is going to be the way for non-target pop cards in the field, which is a really good way to accidentally get their rollback in the graveyard, which would not be good. Let's see if that happens. Now, because we don't know until resolution of what they're popping, we don't know if we should imperm the DPE. There's a chance it just hits the rollback, but we won't know until resolution. So we're just going to imperm immediately. Now, we could imperm the imperm by negating the Ariana. Do we do that? No, we don't. We're not going to negate the negates, but it'll just be activatable during the next turn anyway. We're going to send Evenly Match to set up a Labyrinth, and then we're going to Daruma Cannon. Flip the entire field face down, droplet to get the Vision Hero increase into the graveyard before being flipped face down. Okay, sure. All right, I guess we want it in the graveyard. Labyrinth is now here on the activation of a Labyrinth trap. It's going to be popping a card in the field, non-targeting. Butler is going to be special summoning a Lovely from our hand to then set up a trap from the graveyard. Big Welcome Labyrinth will be returning DPE to then trigger the Lovely to pop a card from the hand or on the field. And because of that, we want to use Droplet for that double stoppage. We want to stop Lovely from popping us. We want to stop Lovely from recycling a card in the grave. So double stop right here, right now. Droplet sending DPE. DPE only reborns if it's destroyed. So we sent it instead. We do have ways to reborn it through other card effects, though. The Cross Crusader is one. Target DPE in the graveyard. Special summon it from the grave. Yep, that is a play. Imperm is negating the Muckraker. Muckraker is a really good idea if your Lovely is negated from adding a trap in the graveyard back on your field. Just reborn her, no longer negated, and that's a good play. Special summoning Our Lady Labyrinth. Now, the transaction rollback is in play. It's finally activatable. It could steal the opponent's impermanence to negate a card in the field, and we could directly chain to the transaction rollback to set a trap from the deck, any trap we want. Otherwise, in the graveyard, we have no other plays. Liquid on summon, reborn the Vian, transaction rollback, copy the impermanence, half our life points, negate. We're gonna toss in an Honest Neos in response to chainlink block the lady, makes sense. Now you're chaining to a Labyrinth card, thus the Butler special summons from the graveyard. Let's go. A boost 39, stop the trap from setting from the deck. That is why we had to activate it right then and there. Now, the Labyrinth field spell states if a non-Labyrinth trap is activated, we get to summon a Fiend from the hand or grave, and that is too much to deal with. Unfortunately, heroes have fallen in game one. I guess we saw the Nibiru light up, but we thought that it was just the Stovia Torby, or they were causing the delays anyway. Whatever the situation was, you can't feel out a Nibiru if they have something activatable, something else. That's just the situation. And it is a big part of Master Duel to feel the Nibiru. I talk about it all the time. I apply it all the time. In one of my upcoming videos, I get Nibiru 3 or 4 times, and I outplay the Nibiru every single time. It's with Salamangreat, where I perfectly predict the Nibiru, and I have a full field, full combo through the Nibiru. And it's only because I felt out their Nibiru on the 5th summon. Now come forth, Wonder Driver. We're gonna be summoning to where it's pointing to, which will recycle the polymerization back into our back row. So when do you Nibiru? I guess you, like, if you wait till the end of the main phase, they could chain DPE to pop itself to then reborn. So do you Nibiru to stop DPE? Or do you just end of the main phase Nibiru anyway? Just straight up, just let them go all the way, and that's when we will Nibiru. Yanni Yugi, welcome, my friend. Everyone who was watching, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Jay Paladino, follow Decade. Welcome, my friend. Thank you. Come forth, Sunrise. Activate the polymerization. Shokan into the DP to the E. So, I mean, we look at the hand. If we chained Nibiru to the polymerization, that would have been quite funny. But, you know, you don't know what heroes are in the hand. Miracle Fusion, follow-up Banish in the Grave, Shokan into Wake Up Your Elemental here. Oh, shoot. Yeah, you're playing into Nibiru very horribly here. So you would chain the DPE to Nibiru, but you are making the correct play to pop your Wake Up, to summon the Mist. Mist is going to search for Mass Change, and then you're going to win against Labyrinth having a Masked Hero Darklaw on the field. All their cards go to the graveyard. The Stovey and Chandelier, they're not even legal activations here. Once you have the thing that makes everything banished, but you can't feel out Nibiru because of the Chandelier and Torby faking the Nibiru. Blocking it. We don't know. Oh my gosh. We lose DPE just like that. And this is funny. So I'm gonna draw 2 off of your Nibiru, correct? Well, if you discard the Nibiru in response to Max C, you're gonna draw 0. The field's still gonna get wiped, but there's a big problem with discarding the Nibiru. What if I have a Called by the Grave? I can now finger your Nibiru, and then it's negated. That is a problem, but we're doing it anyway, and it works out. It works. It works. No Call by the Grave, and we now lose our entire field. This is what you should do against Snake Eye. The Snake Eye field spell sets up a Flameburge. If you Nibiru, Flameburge gets summoned. If you discard Nibiru after activating it, well, the Flameburge won't summon. They're going to lose their whole field. Their anti-Nibiru play is no longer anti-Nibiru. Speaking of the finger, we got the Call by the Grave off the top of the deck. We have Ariana activating to grab a Labyrinth, and that's going to trigger the Vision Hero Increase to equip into the back row. As you then activate the Welcome Labyrinth. So on... This is a situation. So whenever we summon, if it triggers on summon, it's not going to trigger because the Welcome Labyrinth is a non-target pop with the field spell. So if we wipe it out before it activates, no activation. Return back, and we are summoning something that activates. This card on summon states, destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of different attributes. So we have light, we have dark, we have non-target pop too, but it's not going to even activate unless it can't be destroyed by card effects, right? Doesn't this, it's protected, I think somewhere on here, cannot be destroyed by card effects. So it is actually going to activate and go through. Let's go, wiping out the Vision Hero increase. So we do get to activate, despite them activate, and there you go. This was the question. I tried to pop Lady and the set card at the same time, and we all know the ruling. Huggin protects instead. The set card does not protect instead, so because of that, even though you're wiping away the destruction condition at the same time of destroying it, it's still protected, unlike Huggin, which would not be protected. Does that make sense? We're gonna big Welcome Labyrinth, so it is just different than the Huggin situation is all you really have to know. Because a monster left the field through a trap effect, that is gonna trigger the Chandelier, it's gonna trigger the Torby. Torby summon, Chandelier goes to the hand. Looks like this is a Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel on summon, banish the indestructible Neo Swingman. Neo Swingman, off the field you go. And do we have any protection? We just have monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Setting up our big Welcome Labyrinth. We do have the set up to pop any card in the field non-targeting. Malicious is here, banishing a summon from the deck. Come forth. The Vian on summon, sending from the deck a Mist. Mist activating when sent to the grave. We're now activating our non-target destruction right now, but the Ash will negate. We do have a finger for the Ash. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Finger the Ash, negate. It just like that, we do have the opportunity to return the Chaos Angel back to the extra deck for a double destruction. Do we do that? Lovely. Return Angel. Pop, pop, double pop, that's what we're doing. Pop one, pop two, and just like that, you can't normal summon your Stratos. Yup, and you have nothing activatable from the graveyard. You are completely wiped out. The Lovely is gonna recycle traps in the graveyard. It all came down to you can't really, you can't field Nibiru against Labyrinth. You can't. Against every other deck, you generally can. The Labyrinth hides the Nibiru through the furniture cards. Thus, we played right into it, not being able to save DPE for the activation of the Nibiru to then pop itself, then reborn during the next turn, which would have been immensely beneficial. So it looks really bad, but it was not Ziad's fault. Ziad performed the optimal play to set up the Masked Hero Dark Law to ensure that every card would be banished instead of being sent to the grave. And just like that, that is a 2-0. Let's go. Yup. There you go. This was the Snake Eye Ash. Air lift off into grabbing that emergency summon for the deck. We're going to chain that Max C. We have no response to the Max C. Do we push for lethal on an open field? We're on summon number 2. And we are going to be feeling out the impermanence delays. Very likely. Yup. Imperm negates. Do we keep on cooking? If we pot a P, you could say goodbye to our chance of lethaling. So we're not lethaling. No lethal. We're just going to do a mini pot of P. Very tiny one. We grab Max C. Bonfire would lead to a special summon under Max C. Diablo Star would be a special summon under Max C. Just chill. We have no disruption. We just have Max C. That's it. Correction. Impulse, in response to a monster effect, could summon a Preventer only with the Turbulence on the field or another rescue ace, which we have one in the graveyard, which we could rescue at the rescue. The Preventer will be able to flip a monster on the field face down. So we do have a form of disruption in addition to the Max C. Field spell set up, rescue the Airlifter. Airlifter will add a card from the deck. Let's get to it. Got Red Reboot in the main. It could be quite difficult for the Labyrinth players to do well in the tournament if people are red rebooting. I suspect Red Reboot could be because of Tearlament. Tearlament is, you know, they're usually ending turn 1 with the back row trap. And even more so, they could potentially have a lot more than just one back row trap. Now setting our limited to one Snake Eye Ash into the back row with the Divine to then special summon it from the back row, as I said, triggering the effect of, not triggering, but chaining the impulse to summon from the deck. But we didn't summon a Preventer here because it is our own turn. We would have summoned the Preventer during the opponent's turn instead. So we are now setting this up. Shokan into Curry Card, Divine Incarnate. Both of your monsters activated, thus we tribute the entire field. Open field at 8,400 damage. Lethal damage under the Nibiru. I do not think so. Game. Dead Nibiru that should have been a second or third copy of Snake Eye Ash. That's it. I'm settled on it. The ban list has had an impact, but is it a big enough impact? Is it enough? Poplar on summon, come to me, Divine Temple. We have no disruption whatsoever. Wait, yeah, one on one. So this is why I think Poplar is probably going to one. I've been predicting it. I fully predicted the Ash and the Seeker going to one as they did in Master Duel. So my next prediction is Poplar to one. That's what I think is going to happen. All right, what do we have in this field? We have the ability for the Flame Burst to summon a Masquerade from our back row to link off into a Disruption. We have Ash. We have the Engraved Promethean Princess to pop on special summon. Let's go. Triple Disruption to play through. Begin. Maxi within the draw phase there, just dropping it early before a special summon Diablo-Star, also playing around a Triple Tactics Talent. Triple Tactics Talent, a really good card against Snake Eye, which I believe is another reason why they wanted to ban Baron to Floor and Borer Load, so that Triple Tactics Talent and cards like Evenly Matched could also be used against the deck in the TCG, but it was not enough. The deck is still super top tier. Masquerina, Chain activating. All three formats are scrambling right now to find a way to stop Snake Eye's dominance, and OCG is doing the best at the moment. Apollo USA is here. We have negate, plus the Promethean and the Ash. We now have 4 disruptions because we turned the one Masquerina disruption into 3. Ash is triggering, limited to 1. And he didn't activate the Harpy Feather Duster, but we would have just chain summoned the Masquerina anyway, right? So the Harpy Feather Duster is good against Rescue Ace, not so good against Snake Eye. I could also argue it could be pretty good against Tearlament. Set it up, Harpy Feather Duster, wipe out the back row, but we already have all of our disruption that we need. The main way to deal with Apollo is to destroy it by battle, but Link Rebo is going to protect it. And that was another mindset I think that Konami TCG had, to have the Link Rebo being banned being a mini nerf on Apollo USA. Triple disruption, end the turn, let's go. We do have the Extinguish activatable, and I don't think you need me to tell you that this looks like we win. Now, this is actually ashable because we're drawing a card here, but it's actually now chain link blocked from being ashed. We're gonna chain emergency, ash, negate the emergency, no summon from the deck for you, let's go. Phoenix come to me, drawing off the top of the deck, in addition to forcing out that emergency. Reborning the Oak and the Poplar through the effect of the Flamebers that was sent to the grave for the summon of the Phoenix. What did we drew into a Cashier Birth. Activate Extinguish before the Hydrant gets pushed into the back row, otherwise making it not activatable. And the Apollo is indestructible. Now, I think this is an L for Konami. On an Xyz monster, let's say the Leerlust monsters, if you make it with a Cobalt, the Xyz is untargetable, right? We agree on that. And even if you detach the Cobalt, it's still untargetable. So it has something called Influence. If you click on the card, it will show you what the card's being influenced by, that the Cobalt, even though no longer being attached as a material, is making the monster untargetable. Why do we not apply that to Masquerina? Why is Masquerina not in a list of influencing the Apollo USA? Yeah, El Bozo, you should have remembered the Masquerina protecting it, but still. I think it's better for visual clarity and should just be in the game. And just like that, the Extinguish really did not matter. Like, yeah, we popped the wrong card, but we still would have lost. Game. Okay. We lost game 1 because Nibiru should have been in our second copy of Ash. We still won game 2. What's going to happen in game 3? I tried playing, what was the Vanguard? I played Vanguard IRL. Other card games that are not Yu-Gi-Oh! That I've played IRL was Versus System, which was my favorite non-Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. I played Magic IRL. I played Vanguard IRL. We didn't play Naruto. I saw someone playing Naruto and they had a Lee Sin on the field. Not Lee Sin. Rock Lee. Wrong Lee. So, and they're flipping a bunch of coins and I was like, this game's about flipping coins? That's stupid. Moonlit Chill. Negate the Diablo Star mate. What other card games we play? I think that was pretty much it of ones we've tried in person. Maybe someone in the chat's played One Piece. Is that Copium? Is it good? I haven't played Pokemon I guess I could kind of say I played Pokemon in person. Games that I've joined a tournament in. I've never joined a Pokemon tournament. Every other card game, I've joined a tournament. For Pokemon, I have played the Pokemon game, the card game on Game Boy Color. That was so good. Or maybe it wasn't Game Boy Advance. I think it was regular Game Boy. Holy moly, that was like the best game ever. I can't believe it. I liked that game so much, yet how come I don't want to play the actual Pokemon card game off of that? Well, Pokemon Pocket is supposed to be Pokemon Duel Links, and maybe I'll play that. Are any of you interested in the new Pokemon Pocket game that's coming out? That might be a thing. It is going to be different. It's going to be Duel Links version of it. They're going to have less of everything and to make it speedier. So get Turbulence set up into the back row, come forth. I'm really shocked that all the other versions of the Pokemon card game, video games are failing, right? Like Pokemon Live, Pokemon Online, they were all trash. Come forth, Linkuriboh is here. Now, the proper summon of Linkuriboh is at the start of the battle phase, not on an attack declaration. Since the attack is already happening, the Linkuriboh cannot reduce something to 0 unless before on the attack declaration itself. Main phase 2 it up into Little Knight. Little Knight up on summon, banish a card on the field or in the graveyard. And had the Flameburge been limited to 1, that's it. Flameburge is gone from the game, essentially. As we then follow up with Emergency, summon for the deck, Preventer, get triggering to summon that Hydrant onto the field. We're also triggering our Divine Temple to reborn our Poplar, I should say summon it from the back row. We're going to finger the Preventer, we're going to alert, add Preventer in the graveyard back to the hand to dodge the finger. You will not finger negate me. It's still going to resolve properly, summoning the Banish Hydrant onto the field. We still got our plays. And with the Hydrant, it gives additional abilities onto the Contain and the Rescue. Rescue could, let's say Flameburst triggers to summon 2 level 1 fires in the graveyard. If there's only 2 level 1 fires and we Rescue steal one of them, you summon 0. Not 1, it's 0 or 2. Those are your only 2 options of Flameburst, and that's what the Rescue could do. We also have the Finger, which is going to be pretty good here. Let's go. It's a Subversion pushing the Hydrant. So now we cannot use Rescue to steal after the Hydrant gets pushed back. We also, Had we reborn Turbulence in the draw phase, we couldn't even use the Subversion to target the Hydrant. So is this a potential mistake, or is it better to just have a Turbulence on the field? Now, the Turbulence, in response to a card effect making a monster leave the field or a card leave the field, would trigger. But Subversion is not making the Hydrant leave the field. It's still on the field. It's leaving the monster zone. It's going into the back row. Thus, the Turbulence is not going to trigger. Another card leaves the field, pop a card in the field. Ain't happening. Pushed. Still on the field. So that is really unfortunate, that situation there. Dark's going to be able to steal a Dark monster from the opponent's graveyard. We could steal the Linkuriboh. We are going to use the Little Knight in response to an activation of a card, banishing the Dark off the field. He drew the 1 Ash there. I promise you there's only 1 Ash in the deck. We got the Ash. Let's go. Did we draw that? Is that what you're saying? I didn't even pay attention to that draw. We drew into an Ash? Is that what happened? Alt in the draw phase? All right, Poplar, come to... It was Bonfire. Okay, thank you. Early Bonfire. We are going to Original Sinful, send the Poplar, come forth and summon an Oak. Oak on summon, reborn the Ash. Come forth, back onto the field here. We're going to send itself plus the Linkuriboh to get fingered. Thus, no summon from the deck. Be gone. Do we have any Kashtira to reborn with our Birth? We do not. So the Birth is no good. And let's keep on making plays from there. We're still going to be activating the Birth because we can send the Birth. So even though the card's no good, it's still a continuous spell to come forth and summon our second copy of the Flameburge. Flameburge could push the Turbulence into the back row you go. And what's really unfortunate about that for the Rescue Ace player is that Preventer could banish Turbulence if it was in the graveyard, then resummon it had the Preventer been sent to the grave afterward. So it being stuck on the field is a major issue, which doesn't matter because we just lost the duel. What the heck's going on? Snake Eye, even after the nerfs, lost to Rescue Ace. So we had Rescue Ace's power level, Snake Eyes' power level, and then the Banlist happened, and it's still better than Rescue Ace? Possibly. Heroes, let's hero it up. Heroes does have the finger for the Max C, fortunately. Discard the Mist as we chain the Max C. Reset the polymerization. Infernal Rage is going to be triggering to grab a favorite hero trap, and we are also randomly drawing 2 to then discard 1 with the Liquid Soldier, hard drawing into a semi-limited Fusion Destiny. That's big. Now we're going to tribute ourselves to summon an Elemental Hero Sunrise, which will search for a Miracle Fusion, which could use the Graveyard to fuse. Get Fusion Summoning, fusing with the grave to come forth and make our absolute 0. If it leaves the field, it will then destroy the entire opponent's monsters of on their fields. Yup, destroy monsters, not back row. That is something. Subversion does not make the absolute 0 leave the field, so that could be a good way to out that. And we also have the Favorite Contact, which could pop 3 cards on the field. Non-target pop, probably 4 cards if there's a fire on our field. So 3 to 4 cards on the field, non-target pop. Wipe the field if it leaves the field. That's 2 disruption. We have the Droplet. We have the Mash Change, which could go into the Dark Law, so everything will be banished. But we have the Subversion to push it into the back row. Let's go. Yep. Come forth. Now, because we're summoning Dark Law in response to an effect that's searching, after you search, you're now going to randomly possibly lose your Subversion from your hand. No. Okay, 20% chance to hit the Subversion. Unfortunately, did not hit it. Ash on summon, and holy crap, Ash is limited to 1. You banish the Ash, they then need Oak to return it back. We're gonna grab the Poplar trigger, come forth, as we then have Droplet to negate. Sending the Absolute 0. Absolute 0 will now trigger after the wipe, after the negate to then wipe the field. There we go. Wipe the field. Thus, we are now screwed. We didn't get to search for an original Sinful to then summon an Oak. Favorite Contact, non-target pop is going to get wiping. Wipe out the Droplet. Wipe out the Poplar. It's just pop 1 because we only have light monsters on the field. It's per different attribute on the field. We pop that many cards. Stratos Kid, non-target pop the Droplet or search for a monster. Heroes taking a Game 1 victory against Snake Eye. Love it. Bruh. Hard one of. 3 1-ofs in your hand, magically. Come to us, Poplar. And are you actually going to be adding a Maxi to your hand? That'll be interesting to see. We have Masquerena Disruption, Baron de Floor, Borreload. We have the Promethean Princess in the Grave, about 4 disruptions plus the opponent's Maxi. Your Maxi is mine. Oh, we have Crossout and Finger to negate that Maxi, but we have Borreload and potentially Baron de Floor to negate the Crossout and the Called By. Can we get the Baron de Floor out before we activate Maxi? We have the Vision Hero Ferris as the Borreload is being used to negate it. Get negated. Does not destroy. It will stay in the hand. We are now using the Formula Synchron to synchro with the Borreload into our Baron de Floor or that Omni negates. When are we shotgunning our Maxi? Right now. In response to the Malicious, of course we're going to Maxi. You can't finger yourself. Believe me, you can't. Now, the Crossout Designate, we can negate. And the Baron de Flor will negate the cross-out Designate. Do we have a Maxi in our own graveyard? We do not. Let's go. Cross-out Designate, negate. Baron de Flor, negate. The non-fingerable Maxi, because we stole it from the opponent. Ain't no freaking way. That is just disgusting. Wow. That just happened. Triggering the Divine Temple, reborning a Masquerena from our back row. We're going to be able to link this up into a fat Apollo USA, very likely. Listen, this is the one instance where getting Maxi is fair. Because we're using your Maxi. It's your Maxi. You could have chosen to not play it. We only took it because it was in your deck. You were not playing Nibiru, we would have taken that also. Masquerena, get Lincoln. We're going into a Little Knight, not into an Apollo USA. On summon, get Banishing. And what are we going to choose to banish? Flame Burst is triggering. Little Knight also banishing. Goodbye to the Cross Crusader. We are going to be fingering that Flame Burst from reborning 2 monsters in the grave. We're going to chain Little Knight banish itself plus the Malicious. So Malicious and Cross Crusader, gone off the field you go. And what do we have from there? We have a negated Ferris. We have our normal summon already used up. A dead Denier, dead Mist, dead Ferris, dead. All dead. Everything is dead. And now we're going to Baron de Flor, reborn our Borreload Savage Dragon just to get the Baron de Flor to be resummonable. Sprite Elf, reborn Formula Synchron, and just like that, we recycled our negate on Baron de Flor, which was only once while face up, it could negate. The Little Knight is another way to reset the Baron de Flor if you'd like. Baron de Flor, get poppin', open field, 8,500 damage. I don't know. It looks like Snake Eyes is still good. I think so. It looks like the limit to 1 on Ash was probably not enough. All right. Let's go. There's the Plasma, which you were asking about earlier. Ashing Hero Lives is risky business. It is not a hard once return activation. They do play 3. They could just use another one. Oh my gosh. High risk, high reward. We got that what the heck is that? When you draw a limited 1 card, the game has an animation of when you're actually playing. It goes bing, and that just happened. Let's go. Snake Eye Ash off the top of the deck, adding a Poplar. Trigger the Poplar, come forth, and summon, activating to grab the original Sinful. Divine Temple, setting up the Oak, send the Oak to summon the Jet Synchron. We got Link Karibo, Ash send itself, plus the Link Karibo to summon from the deck a Flame Burst. You know, maybe the Flame Burst being the limited 1 would really be something, huh? Equipping the Flame Burst, you know, we could have summoned it from the hand if we had to, though, to be fair. Equipping the Poplar, send itself, plus the back row to summon the Flame Burst from the hand, as we said you could do. Reborn from the grave, come forth, Formula Synchron, Formula draw a free card here, Shokan into the Baron de Flor, activate to pop, open up the field, 5,700 damage, not enough for lethal. Oh wait, you paid half your life points for Hero Lives. Game. Well, damn. Off the top of the deck, you know, obviously, to be fair, they have many other ways to search for the Ash, but it's very salty, not cool, to be just hard drawing it. What the hell is that? Bonfire it up. Do we disrespect the Gamma by activating the Maxi? We do not. We're going to wait just in case. It's like, we're playing in the Gamma again, but are we really not going to Maxi again? Again? I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like if we draw phase the Max here, we do see both players' hands. And I do, let's just, like, this is relevant. This is very relevant. Is Gamma relevantly being played within Rescue Ace? But, you know, even 31% is a healthy amount of Gamma, right? That's there. That is definitely there. So, you know, that's a thing. And if I click on tournaments, it might even go up. It actually went down. The usage of Gamma goes down when you go tournament only. Okay, sure. Let's hop back into the duel. Reinforcement, you know, I guess that could be fair. On the ladder, you're more likely to trigger or use your Gamma. And in a tournament, they're going to play around Gamma, so why even play it? We are going to additionally summon into our Hydrant. We used up all our normal summons here. We're going to be banishing, come forth, and summon into the Preventer. Preventer, flip down the Turbulence. Now, the Extinguish and Contain, not activatable. We need to have a Rescue Ace on the field in order to activate our traps. We have Phoenix on summon, pop in the back row card. We don't know where the traps are. They are shuffled up into the back row. We are perfectly going for the Contain, which we can't chain in response to getting popped. And you're making a card leave through card effect. This would be good for us to potentially summon a Turbulence in response to you doing so, because Turbulence will then trigger to pop a card in the field. Yeah, buddy, that's what we're doing. I think so. This is the way. That is the play. That's not a Turbulence, but okay, you know, if you special summon, you are special summoning. We could then use the Fire Engine to trigger off of your special summon to summon from the deck. But the summon will not be a Turbulence, it'll be a level 4. Impulse in response to a monster effect. We can Impulse in response to your Impulse to then summon our Turbulence, but it's not in response to you making a card leave the field by card effect. It's gonna be a Preventer instead. If something happens to this Preventer, we have a banished Airlifter or Hydrant. We do get to flip a card in the field face down, so this is actual disruption where the Turbulence is not. You still have access to the Extinguish to pop a card in the field, but the card would still be activatable since we don't have a Hydrant. Little Knight. Let's get Little Knighting. Our Little Knight has already activated, so in general, the best way to counter Little Knight is a Little Knight itself. On summon, banishing the Extinguish, we're going to extinguish the Little Knight, just forcing itself to banish itself off the field, and the Preventer. Preventer can flip down the Hydrant. The Hydrant is targetable because you have to have another Rescue Ace that's not Hydrant to be untargetable. We have the Contain ready to contain the Preventer, about to get negated here as the Rescue will then chain, reborn the Turbulence, as you now make our Preventer leave the field, as we then trigger the Turbulence to pop a card in the field. Let's get popping. Field spell is gone. And we're gonna further link up the Hydrant into a Relinquish Anima. Oops, we summoned into the extra monster zone column. Anima is definitely a prevalent card within this deck, right? Maybe not as much as Linkuriboh is what I'm seeing, but still, maybe it would not have hurt to play around it. We have the Turbulence now from the hand come forth as we then set up 4 cards into our back row. How do you recycle a Rescue Ace HQ, which recycles your other cards? You don't really, right? The Barricade blocker, add back in the end phase? Am I thinking this through correctly? How else do we recycle it? Off the top of the deck, we have Bonfire sending the play 2. Do they play 2 though? The 97% play 1, and in tournaments, it is the same deal. 100% play 1. They just don't. No one's playing 2. There's 3% on the ladder playing 2. Who's that mad lad playing 2? Little Knight chaining to get banished, double banish in response to the Diablo Star activating to set up into the back row. We have the original Sinful searching our deck for a level 1 fire. Come to us, Rescue Ace Hydrant. We do have that normal summon open. Banishing the Emergency to set up the Contain. The Contain is activatable the turn it's set. If set through the effect of a Rescue Ace card, so you can't set it from the hand and activate it, and that's only if we have a Hydrant on the field. We have contained the Impulse. You Anima me, I'm gonna Anima your Anima. Okay. Getting into the graveyard allows it to be banishable with the Preventer, and if Preventer sent to the grave, it then reborns it. Very well done. Good job, both players playing Anima. All right. Good job, Judeo Yu-Gi-Oh! In Duel Links, the turn limit is 50. The duel ends at 50. And I believe there's been duels that have been on like turn 70 something in Master Duel. So they have already broke that limit in Master Duel. I'm confused right now. Is this actually turn 1? What is going on? I mean, this is turn 1? What happened? The Diablo Star was sent to the grave. That's what happened. And that's why it's summoned. Is this dude going for game on turn 1? Like, what are we doing? Okay. What? I think he forgot. He's going for game turn 1. I think so. Let's go. Summon, summon, summon. Promethean trigger. Get popping. You know, we don't have the Xelantis co-link, so obviously we're not trying to go for a game 1 lethal. Summon, discard, get pop. Imagine the Gathering. You can attack turn 1, just straight up. Reborn card, return cards back to the deck, draw 1, drawing into an Ash Blossom here. Holy moly. SP, Little Knight. This really is turn 1. This is wild. Okay, end the turn. What are our disruptions here? We have flip down, pop, negate, banish, negate, Ash, and Promethean Princess. So we have just 7 disruptions. 7. Pretty good turn 1. 7, 7, 7. That's actually 8 disruptions if you count the rescue stealing from the graveyard. So using our 8th disruption to yoink the impulse. Thank you very much. With 7 disruptions left, we're getting out of here. We outie. All right, let's go. Game number 3. Let's go. Sending the driver. It's like, this is obviously correct, but you are telling your opponent you play Gamma, which is good if you didn't actually have Gamma in your hand. That'd be great, right? So I don't know. This is like now, like the mind game is sus, but they would only do that if they didn't have Gamma in their hand because they're telling me that they are now playing Gamma. And why would they do that if they had Gamma in their hand? Like, they wouldn't do this. So because they did this and they wouldn't do this, then I don't know if they know that we know that they know to not do this, but they do have it. So this is just wild. Impulse chain, that's fine. So we have the Little Knight Banish, Extinguish Pop, Contain is going to negate, and we're going to have a way to rescue our Preventer to flip a monster face down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disruption through Promethean Princess. Containing Diablo Star, that is our 1 of 5 disruption. Super Poly is now going to dodge the Contain. We're going to lose the Little Knight. Now we're down to 3 disruption. Let's go. Extinguish, Preventer, and Promethean Princess. This is such a hard counter. I've talked about this a lot on people asking, what do I think about Super Poly? I have continually said that if you're playing the mirror match and Rescue Ace, Super Poly is the GOAT. It's gonna win the game, that's it. Extinguish targets, you can't target. Preventer targets, you can't target. Promethean targets, can't target. That 3 disruption is gone. It's gone. The Moo Dragon can declare fire, and it's not some window where you could then target it. No, it's completely untargetable. Then fire monsters cannot be targeted for the rest of the turn. All 3 forms of disruption are dead. And we're now declaring fire. Summoning Preventer, get sending. The Preventer will trigger, special summon a banished monster. Can't target. Send to the grave, summon from the deck. We don't have an Ash. We're going to rescue, steal the fire engine. So in response to your summon, we will summon from our deck an Impulse, and then Impulse will hopefully summon a Preventer. But why? Why does that matter? We still can't target you. We can't target. No targeting. So we're gonna fire attacker instead. We have to draw into a hand trap. I mean, this is the option, right? Because we had a way to get into our Preventer through our own grave. If we draw into something good, what's a good hand trap? Probably Nibiru if they were going to summon under 5 times. We did not draw into anything. Baylor's not good because we can't target. Banish in the grave, come forth, Shokan, set up with Turbulence. We just can't do anything. Unfreaking believable. That is so wild. The Promethean's just an illegal activation. We can't even get her on the field. Set this up, and the target protection is going to carry over. We just stole your Promethean. Thank you very much. It's now ours. We could target you, but you can't target me. And to battle, we go at 10,000 damage on the field. Raging Phoenix will be triggering within the damage step, summoning as 5,300 attack. Holy moly. thus ending that battle phase. We're going to further link this up into our Hida. Hida's going to steal from the graveyard. Still can't trigger our Promethean. It's just not possible. And the targeting protection is going to carry over. We have to get rid of that. How do we get rid of it? How do we deal with it? The Impulse is going to chain in response to the Mood Dragon declaring itself to be fire, as we are now not able to target the fire monsters as the Preventer flips down the fire engine. We're now going to be banishing the grave, the original Sinful, to search our deck, not for a Kurikara. We have a Hydrant. We're going to banish the Emergency to set the Contain. Contain cannot be used on anything, though. So we're now going to be Shoconning into a World Sea Dragon Zealantis, attempting to banish the entire field, but the Extinguish will extinguish it. And the Contain will contain the Hydrant. And we're now ending the turn. We can't contain, we can't extinguish, we can't Promethean. For 3 turns now, the Mood Dragon is being a problem. Now, this is our last opportunity to target. There is a moment where we could target the fires, and this is the last one. So we have to just probably fire off everything, right? Contain the Preventer, extinguish the Turbulence. The Turbulence will not be activatable for the rest of the turn. So this is a really good extinguish. Cannot attack, can't be used for the extra deck. Turbulence could still be summoned back, but it's not going to be activatable to set up our back row anymore. We're going to recycle with our field spell. Emergency set up into the back row. We may be wanting to set up for some lethal. We cannot protect ourselves with Promethean because nothing is targetable here. The original Sinful searching our deck come to us as we grab a Hydrant. Additionally summoning, or no, not additionally summoning. We're going to return 4 cards to the graveyard or banish back in the deck to draw 1. Now we're additionally summoning into the Impulse. Further linking this up into a Promethean Princess. Promethean reborn from the grave. If we make a Zealantis, we have to be careful because the Mood Dragon will reborn itself back as a water. Thus, the opposing Promethean will be triggerable. We're still gonna do it. Are we doing it? Oh boy. This is something. Promethean is now activatable. Both Prometheans are. The turn player trigger effects are first. The non-turn player will be second. So in response to your Promethean, we could pop the exact monsters that you're popping, and then you don't get to summon your Promethean. The higher Chainlink Promethean wins. Mood Dragon activates. Wait, we actually can't do it if all our cards are face down. You need a fire. Now, well, yeah, play around it by flipping face down. If you had a fire link, then you would not be able to flip it face down, obviously, but we had no link fires, thus our Promethean, again, not usable. Just like that, get poppin', come forth and summon, triggering our Raging Phoenix. We have to be careful here. Gosh, oh my gosh. So the Raging Phoenix, if a monster's destroyed by battle, it comes back. Also by card effect, but it says face up fire. You attack, it flips face up, it's destroyed face up. If it's destroyed while face down, which is happening right now, it's not coming back. Full field wipe, no Raging Phoenix reborn, no Promethean because all our monsters were face down. Face down and being untargetable. I mean, the Mood Dragon put in so much work in this duel. The winner is Super Poly, right? If Rescue Ace becomes a more prevalent deck, you all have to be playing Super Poly. Very well done. My friend Purrely. Purrely int up as we guarantee a Sleepy Memory to our hand. Sleepy Memory, discard summon into the Lily. This is where you imperm, but you can't. This is where you Veiler, but you can't. The field spell is making it so you cannot target my newly special summon Purrelys. Just the turn they're summoned, though. This is negatable. It probably... We may as well have just Veilered it, right? Unless we really care about maybe discarding the Veiler. If we Veiler this now, that wouldn't make sense. It's... I don't know. Are we playing around Triple Tactics Talent? That is a real fear. Triple Tactics Talent is something. We can't Chainlink block with Veiler because they're both untargetable. So it is definitely interesting that we chose for our Veiler to be dead. Straight up dead. Okay. Imperm is now going to be activatable on one of these monsters if we'd like to. We're going to Imperm it right here, right now. So you don't get to draw 2, you get to draw 3. Oh, I mean, we're still drawing. We are still drawing. So it was a mistake to imperm in response to it activating. We had to use it in the draw phase, because if you use it in the draw phase, it would only be drawing 2 instead of 3. Yup, right? Shokan into the X Purrely Nor. Yup, we're drawing 3. And some of you may be thinking that it could be difficult to toggle on in the draw phase. There is a dual setting to toggle on at the end of the opponent's turn. That's what I have it set to. I believe that is the optimal way to play. We now have the X Purrely Nor detaching 2 materials to spin back to my friend Purrely. Now, the X Purrely Nor is affected by the triple tactics talent because it no longer has 5 materials. It is still untargetable due to the field spell, but we ain't targeting. So we're gonna spin off our last 2 materials. Well, we have 3, we have to detach 2. Your imperm is gone. Back in the deck you go. Now, we had to do that. We can't spin our own cards. We don't want to give them an X Purrely Nor that is activatable. The beauty is going to be turning into a Zeus here. And no, we're not Zeusing first. Veiler onto the Lily. Then I guess we're going to Zeus. Let's get Zeusing. Yes. Zeus. Zeus. Beauty. Suck up a card in the field. And then Zeus. Yeah, buddy. So we just wanted a fatter Zeus. We ate up a disruption. And we now have a 4 material Zeus because we got sucking. Nicely done. Now, unfortunately for us, the imperm. And the Veiler, which was dead, is now back in play. It's good. We have a great play on it, as long as they don't have the Purrely Street, which they now do. If they add Purrely Street, special summon Lily, then what the hell? It's okay, we have Zeus. Oh, no, we don't. It's negated. This is not okay. We're screwed. Again, Veiler is back to back, dead. If they normal summon the Purrely, please just Veiler, right? You're not playing on a triple tactics talent anymore. What else are you gonna Veiler? What is the Veiler for? Just discarding? I mean, it's luckily they whiffed it, but I mean, what else are we using Veiler on? This is search 4 times if we have enough happy memories. It is searching 3 times, 3 searches, 3. Only 3 searches. So we could keep on sucking, we keep on boosting, and if we suck up the pretty, that is, okay, we're chain link blocking the suck. Nicely done. This would be a 4th and 5th material. The 5th material would be sucking up that Zeus and the equips of the quick play spell, which we have to be the direct chain link to in order to equip it. So Maybach playing absolutely correct on that Zeus. But we're gonna do it again. Doesn't matter. Nice try. You tried. You failed. I equipped the 4th. I then equip the Zeus. I then make the X Purrely Nor. I then draw a card during your standby phase, and I'm gonna be spinning multiple times. You have a dead Veiler, and you are super screwed. Triple spin plus draw in the standby phase. Yup, we may draw into a good hand trap here. Completely unaffected from activate effects. Oh, Maxi. It doesn't even matter. No playable hand. No playable plays. Let's keep on going. Lily, Ash, negate the Lily and not the My Friend Purrely. I mean, that is the fear when you Ash a Lily. What if they already have the 3 of My Friend Purrely in the hand, which they did? And the Ash negating Lily doesn't negate its second effect to Exceeds of the Graveyard. So Ashing a Lily in a lot of cases is just not good. Now, let me argue in favor of negating the Lily. If they actually didn't have the My Friend Purrely, because it's not the same as negating a My Friend Purrely and completely stopping them from having it, because in the Purrely matchup, it is a grind game. Had we if the negate went through and they did not have a My Friend Purrely, that is so much better than a negated My Friend Purrely, where not only is it usable every turn, it's also triggering if they deal with any of our monsters that are Xyz. They're going to recycle, like the recursion and the continual use turn after turn. It was enough reward to take that risk, but we are going to get punished for it. Exceeds the Graveyard into the Beauty. Get Shokanin. I definitely think the mindset was, I can't win the grind game if they have that My Friend Purrely. I have to stop the search. Pot of P, digging deep, 6 cards as the Ash negates. Alrighty, we still have a really good hand here. We have 2 quick play spells through the My Friend Searching for Anything. We have Valor, which is going to be no good against these special summon Purrelys. We keep on having access to the straight Purrely Street, which is also really good against Rescue Ace. You saw how good it was to be untargetable with the Moo Dragon. Same thing with the straight Purrely Street. My friend Purrely, come to me, guaranteeing our sleepy memory. And we have no way to Chainlink block. If you have a Purrely Leap in the graveyard, it is activatable to Chainlink block them trying to equip something. So do keep that in mind in the mirror match. Now, we actually don't want to destroy the beauty by battle. We want it protected. So that is not ideal that on our attack, it's going to die. Because the happiness can only attack into a monster on the field. No longer in the field, no more searches, no more attacks. We're going to grab another Sleepy. This will be a 4th material. Get sucking. But it'll be good with the Purrely Leap. And we're actually going to give it a 3rd Sleepy. So we're going to draw a nice 6 cards. We have 0 in the hand, and we're now going to have 6 cards from none. We could use Ash to negate one of the draws. Draw 1, draw 2, draw 3, draw 4, draw 5, and then we will be drawing 6. Perfectly balanced. Yes, I love it. No hand traps, huh? Damn, the 6th card? Nope. 6 cards, no hand traps. Unbelievable. Maybach passed. Wow. Didn't surrender, just passed. just Nope, not gonna even try. All right, Ash is going to negate the My Friend Purrely mates. Purrely off the top of the deck, randomly revealed 3, grabbing our happy memory. Why not? Valor, negate, let's go, mate. Come forth and summon for the deck. Our Lily, searching our deck for another My Friend. We already have the Stray Street. We already got, another My Friend. It's a redundant search. It's just discard fodder. Equip with the plump, get nice and plump. Keep on equipping the quick play cards. Suck up 2 cards from both players' graveyard. Can suck up your opponent's quick play cards to then gain the benefit from them. Like having multiple pretty memories, that's multiple good sucks. And just like that, just 3,900 damage. We are going to spin back, activate Plump to suck up from our own graveyard to get that buff boost. Further buff boosting with the Plump, suck up the happy memory. But I mean, we're not lethaling here. Yep, to 2K, extra 2K, nice. As we then make a 2nd copy of the X Purrely Nor. Now, we have to get rid of this X Purrely Nor because it's going to be gone in the end phase. It was improperly summoned through the trap, and the trap states it leaves during the end phase the next turn. SP Little Knight, banishing the pretty memory from the opposing player's graveyard. We have 7 material. And don't worry, we will draw 6 again. So through Sleepy Memory, we are plus 12ing. Plus 12, pretty good. Draw our 7th, draw our 8th, draw our 9th. Oh, okay, wrong, incorrect. It's not plus 12, it's plus 9. Only plus 9. It was not purely leaped into it, so only 9. There you go. After plus 9ing with the Sleepy Memory, we out. 2-0 victory. Good job, Justinian. Let's go. Begin. Yep, and Unchained also, as we saw it being used in the side deck of them. PolyUSA is how you get around people becoming untargetable against your targeting card effects. Drew a Swarm, end phase banishing the Link Karibo. Let's go. Emergency in the standby phase, send Preventer as we summon it to then trigger and reborn the Hydrant. Now what's good about this, when we extinguish the Drew Swarm, it now doesn't activate. Destroy and cannot activate. Alert, add from the deck an Impulse in response to a monster effect on the field. We're gonna have to choose. Do we want to negate it with Apollo or chain Impulse? It can't do both. And the Impulse will summon a Preventer which could flip a card in the field face down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 disruptions with the current fields. Let's go. Yup, that's a lot of disruptions. Because we have the hand traps. Albaz. Contain the Albaz instead of negating. We don't want to drop the Apollo USA down to 1600 attack, then the Albaz could swing over it. Contain will contain it from being even able to attack. We're going to Impulse be the direct chain link to the Alibur and then add Valor onto it. The Apollo needs to be a direct chain link to negate. The Valor does not. We're going to chain Serenir, which the Apollo is going to add on top of it. But now the Apollo is going to die to the Alibur. And the Link Karibo would protect our Apollo USA. You would start of the battle phase, tribute for Hydrant, and then we'd be protected. But we're going to use Preventer instead to flip it face down. Yup, very good. Well done. Flip down the Alibur. Albaz cannot. You can't even make a main phase 2, the Anaconda with it if you wanted to. Now, I believe that the fusion deployment locks you into fusion only, so that's another reason why we couldn't do that. It states that the fusion, also you cannot summon for the extra deck except fusion monsters. So this does, in addition to the containing it, 2 reasons why we cannot make the Anaconda. Bonfire, we have the emergency setting up a card from the graveyard. It is usable the turn it's set thanks to the Hydrant. Hydrant's going to be searching for an Airlifter. Lift off, get searching for the Rescue Ace HQ. Yeah, Branded has no disruption whatsoever here. So let's plow right on through. Return back in the deck, Bonfire, activate, come to me, trigger Poplar, summon, grab the original Sinful. We have the Rescue Ace HQ, return 4 cards back into the deck here, come to me, emergency, summon for the deck. It has to summon into defense, we can't use it for more damage. We're going to set up our 4 cards. We still have not used the Hydrant effect of using one of our back row. Making our IP Masquerena. Now we use Alert to add from the graveyard to then resummon that 3000 attack Turbulence. And further linking this up into an access code talker, 5300 attack, get 4300 that is, as we then trigger the Preventer, Reborn of Banished Turbulence, get popping, and just like that, we just have 13,000 damage. We have a Serenir, which will block an attack, which the Apollo USA said, you're not even worth negating. That's kind of sad. As we then lethal damage for game, access code talker. Let's go to game 2. Oh, I got a drink. Thank you, Gia. This is a common turn 1 branded play. Common play. Yep. Just bricking. They do that. Frequently, unfortunately, that is the case. The majority of their deck is definitely limited. Up the wazoo. Yup. The Blazing Cartesia, if we just had any other monster to fuse with, a light, a dark, literally everything in the deck, then we could have done something. We absolutely had something, literally any monster, light or dark. But, that's just what it be. That's how we do it. That is really unfortunate, as with the Phoenix, we're also going to draw a card here. Free draw, co-linked it up. Thank you very much. Wow. Abo Lab getting rid of their branded fusion. A very good play here. Yup, definitely. Okay. Let's do it. All right. Come forth, further linking this up into Little Knight. Little Knight on summon, banishing the called by, chain the called by, goodbye to the Hydrant. Yep. Emergency, main phase 2, prevent it up, Shokan, trigger, reborn the banish Hydrant. We have Diablo Star setting up the Wanted Seeker, further linking this up into a triple Apollo USA negates. Turbulence Banishing is set up triple disruption, so that is 3 + 3 disruption, 6 + 7 Ash, and they got to play through the max frequency. 6 disruption that we have to win through. We have Cartesia. Ooh, double branded loss. Very cool. It does stop the Apollo USA from negating the activation of the attempt to fuse, but we need something to fuse with, which we're banishing the branded fusion did increase our chance to draw into another monster to fuse with. Yup. Emergency into the Preventer. By sending Preventer, we'll trigger to reborn the Airlifter. Airlift off. Someone's knocking at my door here. Extinguishing the Cartesia. Off the field you go. And now it's time to get Seeking. Seek into the Diablo Star. Please put him out of his misery. Come on. Let's do it. Original Sinful, searching our deck. Return back that Diablo Star. Come to me. Hydrant is here. Sad music for this. This is sad, right? This is sad. Rip Abo Lab mod. Yep. We have Gazelle, what the hell, grabbing a Chimera Fusion from our deck. We are plundering it up. It is plunder time. Now, Codal will be discarding a search. We do have the Codal giving us the ability to be able to negate a card that would target. The Sword Knight is also, if we use the Chimera Fusion and get it in the grave, it will negate a monster on the field. Now the problem is, the Chimera Fusion is main phase activatable only. So they have player priority to summon something that would trigger on normal summon to dodge the initial negate of the Sword Knight. But afterward, we could get the Sword Knight in the grave to negate something later. Also gonna have to deal Max C. Well, now you're not. So we got rid of your Call by the Grave to make the Max C put it in a good spot. So now we're going to prioritize getting us out. You're gonna Max C us. We can Max C you. So now, if you finger my C, you're also fingering yourself. And if you cross out my C, you're also crossing out yourself. But if you randomly drew into an Ash, then damn you. Yep, there you go. Ash, negate. I don't get to draw for my Max C. You get to draw for yours. But we do have Nibiru. Nibiru is our saving grace. As I said, getting our Sword Knight into the graveyard with a Chimera Fusion, we're now able to negate a monster in the field and negate you trying to target. Do we negate the Dark Infant? It's a high risk, high reward. They could already have the field spell. We're going for that high risk, and the high reward is what we are receiving. It's good. Let's go. Very well done. You are negated. We're now going to link this up into Splash Mage it up, Reborn from the grave, and we're now linked to coding. Link to Coder is going to reborn off of the Transcode Talker. I'm pretty sure we're in the Nibiru zone, so when are we Nibiruing? Reborn the Splash Mage from the grave, further Shokaning it up into a Heat Soul. We're going to draw. We could draw into some Mathmech play. Maybe draw into a Mathmech Circular. Yes. Oh, Sigma, almost. Big enough, thanks to being pointing to the Decode Talker. We ended the main phase 2 Nibiru. We really did not have Nibiru. What happened to Nibiru? Wasn't this like 7 summons? We're just saving Nibiru for another turn. Sure. Eat Soul, drawing another card here as the Chimera Fusion activates to add itself in the graveyard back to our hand. We have the Plunder, discarding. Discard Nibiru. Done. Get that Nibiru out of here. No search, we are negated. The Plunder Patrol field spell is unfortunately a hard once returned, so the second copy would not be good. Discard to reborn the Golden Hair, and now we have the Blackbeard. Blackbeard will draw a card. And we're able to pretty much make a lot of things we can make here. The Imperm is going to negate, but we could still use the Blackbeard quick effect during the opponent's turn. We do have the ability to summon a monster that banishes, but that banish targets, and the field right now is untargetable. This would be a good summon. This, if they were not untargetable. And you also need a Plunder card in the hand. So we have to randomly draw a Plunder card. All the Plunder extract monsters, they have to discard a Plunder to perform their effect. But this will randomly draw one. Let's see. You're gonna draw. We do have the Baphomet to banish to reborn a banished Chimera King to then turn on our Sword Knight and Codal in the grave if we have them. We only have Codal. So we have protection from being targeted. We have Blackbeard into hopefully drawing into a Plunder, otherwise whatever we summon's not going to be too good. This is good. Plunder's good. So we ended up drawing into a Plunder, but this is the one that does not need a Plunder because what it does is if the opponent special summons, it will then special summon from the deck and then search for a Plunder card. So let's go. Yep. This will special summon and search off of your thing. So then we go into the Redbeard, so we're guaranteed to have a Plunder to discard. This is a monster negate. So we have the ability to negate anything But the Gachiri is going to really crap in our Cheerios because the access code talker is going to make it so you can't negate it, right? It's going to chain link block the Gachiri, and then afterward, the access code talker is going to be completely unaffected from being negated. And anyway, you still just can't negate an access code talker because you can't respond to it activating. So we're about to lose our entire field, and there's really nothing we could do. I don't see our play. Yep. And even if we weren't Gachiri'd, on the resolution of gaining attack with access code talker, that's your opportunity to target it, to pop it. Well, it's untargetable with the access code talker, with the transcode talker pointing to it. But there still was another play we had. We have Chimera Fusion into a Guardian Chimera to non-target pop it on the resolution of gaining attack, but it's protected by Gachiri. So we're protected from everything. Just absolutely all bases covered. Insane. And maybe we're gonna do something. I don't know. What are we doing? We're just we're flailing around, unaffected from everything access code talker. We're going to be fusing into the Guardian Chimera, which could take out the Hayari and take out the transcode talker. Yep. Chainlink block with a red beard, so an Ash Blossom does not negate the Guardian Chimera. We're going to equip after being sent to the grave. Draw. Yep. Pop the 2. How many pops we have? We have Banish a Dark, Banish an Earth, Banish a Fire. We have Pop 3. And we have Banish a Water, right? Pop 4. We didn't Banish a Water yet. We have Pop 4, Pop 4. The Chimera is banishing to special summon a Whitebeard onto the field. Whitebeard can use into summon from the extra deck a Plunder. Very well done. Discard to banish the other monster. Wipe it out. Now, did we special summon the Circular? The circular effect that we activated was now saying that you can only attack with one monster for the rest of the turn. So now we doomed our access code talker to being the only monster that can attack. Thus, 4,300, we actually gonna have game. Let's go. Sigma get banishing, I should say reborn from the grave. If it leaves the field, it gets banished. If you exceed with it, it's not gonna be banished when it leaves the field because it's being detached as an exceeds material instead. Effect Veiler is going to negate. Let's go, mate. This is top 16. Nicely done. How many more banishes do we have for poppage? We banished a Darkened Fire. We still have Earth and Water. So we could pop 2 more cards on the field, and we only have that 1 more attack. 3 bodies, 2 pops. What do we do? We have G Golem Crystal Heart, reborning from the graveyard here. Wait, is this our game? This is giving us the ability to have piercing battle damage, attack a defense, piercing battle damage, double attacks, 34, so this will be 1,400 damage, and then still not enough for game. Reborn the Splash Mage it up, reborning from the grave as we then Shokan this up into a Dark Templar. This is getting interesting. Okay, Dark Infant can't move because the access code talker is blocking it. We're going to be activating the Dark Templar to be reborning 2 cards in the grave. Yeah, we are just dumping our entire extra deck on the field. This is absolute madness. What the hell is going on? If we change the attribute of the Dark Infant, couldn't we banish it as another card for access code talker, right? They activate, you can move this card, and only if you move do you get to change the attribute, so you're not able to change it here. But we have Light. Light could change, be the other attribute to banish. And we can also spin a card back. So we can now banish the Firewall, banish the Water, banish the Earth. And I mean, like, we're still cooking. Biggie, you gotta chill. What the heck are you doing? Holy moly. Damn. I mean, Biggie had it ever since that Gachiri protecting the access code talker. Very nicely done. Holy moly. Did you get cooking? Begin. Kelilios, thank you for the free Prime sub. I appreciate you. I should already have a video on Mutant. Search Decayed Mutant. I think that's already up to date with how the deck is being played. That was back when I was dueling. Yeah, they fear my new deck. Apparently, I clapped up some Hug-In with my Mutant. Let's go. Holy crap, this is such a long time ago. And I think the deck is still, see, these are my replays. This was not from someone else playing. Yep. This is pretty much how it is today, right? Just like that. When emergency gets unlimited, maybe we'll go back to it, yes? What do you think? Imperm negate the ability of discarding a card from the hand, thus guaranteeing the discard is the infinite impermanence. Let's go. When's the next playtest video? It should be on Wednesday or Thursday, and it will be Unchained, and it is a good one. I don't know if I should be spoiling this, but it's 8 duels undefeated. Circular sending from the deck. After that, it is Master 1 with Salamangreat. But the Master 1 with Salamangreat's actually a replay video. It's about 10 replays. It's still 1 hour. It's 1 hour of all my replays. I think it's like 12 or 15 replays, actually. It's nuts. Circular, just like that, has been thwarted. We are going to be adding back the Chimera Fusion. Get Chimera Fusioning into our Baphomet. Baphomet on summon could send a monster from the deck to the grave. The Bluebeard is going to discard a card when sent to draw a card, as we are then scooping it up. Ain't no freaking way. Let's go. It's all very good. Max C is, Max C is doing his thing. Alrighty, Nibiru versus Nibiru, Maxi versus Maxi. Both players with Maxi and Nibiru. Konami had an event where both players would start with Nibiru, and then they had an event where both players would start with Skill Drain. The next event will be both players start with Maxi. That's what would be crazy, right? Imperm, negate Gazelle, chain Chimera Fusion to dodge the impermanence, chain the Maxi, finger the Maxi, negate. Let's go. Leak Voiceless Voice. We will be leaking soon, mate. The leak is coming. Goodbye to the Maxi. There has been a lot less Snake Eyes in today's tournament, I believe, right? How many were there? 1? Maybe 2 in the top 16? That's something. And one of the players playing Snake Eyes is a fanatic. They love the deck a lot. They are making combo guides with it. So does that even really count as a regular Snake Eye combo, a Snake Eye top, where it's someone who is so deep into the deck? As we grab a Sword Knight from the deck through the effect of the Codal, we do not have our open normal summon. We're going to Chimera Fusion. The Baphomet, if used for a fusion, will reborn the Sword Knight from the grave. Then we could use the Sword Knight effect. With the Sword Knight also in the grave, it gives us the ability to negate a monster effect in the field. I don't know what summon we're on. Are we in the Nibiru zone yet or what? What is going on? The Golden Hair is going to discard Nibiru to reborn from the grave. We're going to further Shokan this up into the Jord. Now we're getting Nibiru'd. Goodbye to the entire field. Odds, what just happened? We played right into that freaking Nibiru, mate. 6,200 defense token. We are discarding the Pakari during the end phase. We're going to Idle reborn the Achichi, and now that hard once per turn search with Achichi, it's activatable again. We are in big trouble. We have the Chimera, King of the Phantom Beast, reborning from the graveyard. The Whitebeard. Whitebeard is going to be able to go into a Jord. So Jord's going to be the play. And we have to wait for them to special summon. If they special summon with Jord in the field, then that's going to be the way. We also have the Chimera. And didn't we finger the Maxi? Yes, we did. You were fingered and you tried to Maxi anyway. Nice try. And let's go. So what are the situation here? If the Nibiru were not being a fool, taking out the Chimera, we do have the ability to negate a monster in the field with the sword, and we have the ability to negate a targeting effect of the Codal. And the Jord, if you special summon, we are going to be able to summon into a monster that negates a monster. Yep, monster negate, it would be the play we would make. Goodbye to the Chimera, unfortunately, as we now make a Dark Infant. We actually can now make a monster that banishes them. We could banish a monster, or we could negate a monster. It's your choice with the Jord. And what are we gonna do in main phase 2? Do we go for the negate a monster? I think we actually do both. List, summon Whitebeard, and then the Whitebeard goes into the, yup. So we have monster negate and monster banish. We're gonna have both, yup. Splash Mage it up. Doyen is triggering to add a card in the graveyard back to the hand. Are we negating the add back to the hand? Yeah, we're negating the Idle Reborn being add back from the grave. Now, can't we special summon the Whitebeard and go into the thing? Oh, this sucks. This sucks. This is not good. We got really screwed by a interesting ruling. You know, it's similar to like a Rukalos. It states, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. That's where it got messed up. Then you could search your deck. We did not destroy it. You can't destroy a card in the graveyard. Because we did not destroy it, we don't get to search for a Plunder. We then don't get to go into the Dark Plunder that discards the Plunder we would have searched for with the list had we destroyed the card we negated. So maybe we should have not negated a card in the graveyard, waited to negate a card in the field so that we could actually destroy it, so we could actually search, so we could actually summon to then banish. So, damn. Transcode Talker is here. As we then reborn the Splash Mage, further Shokaning into the Dark Templar. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we have during the main phase, special summon the Whitebeard. Whitebeard go into the Mowerk, and then Mowerk needed that search for card with the list. Holy moly. We're going to then be adding the Circular, Shokan into the G-Golem Crystal Heart. White activated to summon Jord. You're right, actually, to be correct. So my play was only had we not used both our Whitebeard and the Redbeard. They are both activated. They are. So you can see right here, this effect is used this turn. This effect is used this turn. But in my role play of playing Plunder myself, had we not used the Whitebeard to go into the Jord, that was the play. But, you know, that is also the situation with the list on why we couldn't search for a Plunder Patrol. You could summon 3 times, but only if one of the summons were with a Blackbeard. So it's Blackbeard, Whitebeard, and Redbeard. We didn't have access to the Blackbeard, so we Whitebearded into a Redbeard. The Blackbeard, you know, we just didn't have a play to go into it. A good one, that is. Because, you know, if you use red or white to go into black, then you're technically still just summoning twice into a Plunder that would actually turn into Disruption. Let's go. And that's a good thing to know with Rukalos. If Rukalos does, I think Rukalos states the same thing, right? If Rukalos does not destroy, it doesn't have to send a Tearlament to the grave, which could be good and also bad if you wanted to trigger something like your Kaleido Heart. Destroy it, then send a Tear. So if they're activating a special summon from the graveyard and you negate it, it just feels like a free negate. It's kind of weird. You don't have to send anything afterward. It's just activate, negate. I'll activate again next turn, mate. We're just going to summon a body into the front row from the back, which is not going to be doing anything. You know, it's another body to block, though. Let's get on Wiping, Access Code Talker, clearing up this field. Did we use a Circular this turn? We're only able to attack with one monster, just one. Summon for the deck, Black Eyes, really cool card. It could add back from the grave and special summon. And just like that, what can we do off the top of the deck? Is also main phase 2. So battle phase 2, unfortunately, not a real thing. We're gonna add back the Chimera Fusion. We could discard a card to search for a Plunder. Now, this is a form of disruption. Yeah, we're doing it right now. Quick effect, target cards your opponent controls or in their graveyard up to the number of different Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz that you control or are in your grave. Return back the field spell, thus, no search for you. Now, do we have a card in the grave that could discard it? Do we have Golden Hair? Golden Hair can discard it, but then what is that even accomplishing? Not much. We are now going to be using the Chimera of the Phantom Beast to reborn the Whitebeard. Call by the Grave is going to be fingering the Whitebeard, and the Singularity is activatable every turn. We didn't even have to finger it. We could have spun it while in the grave. Back you go. Damn. Ignister cooking, Singular. So the regular Firewall Dragon is going to be a card that's once while face up, right? This is once per turn, quick effect, spin back to the hand. And then if we look at, how's Firewall Dragon not a related card, Konami? Anyway, let's go. Still on 40 cards, nice. Hard opening up the Brain Regained. Some people play more than one Brain Regained, so it could be discardable or, you know, just hard opening, it's pretty good. We're going to be sending from the deck the Golden Sword Soul Huggin. Why do you do this? Play around Ash. They now can't Ash the Huggin because you're going to chain the Quem to Chainlink block the Huggin. Very well done. Always think about playing around disruption. Some dude on YouTube said, DK, you got so lucky with Bystial Runick. Every time I play, my Huggen gets Veilered, so he's not summoning it in the draw phase, or my Huggen gets Ashed, not chainlink blocking with the Quem. Pay attention. Come on. Shokan into Tri-Edge Master. Tri-Edge on summon, grabbing a droplet, further Shokaning into Baron to Floor, Omni Negate. We have a way to trigger our field spell to draw 3 cards. Let's go. Hug and draw 3. Come to me. What are we drawing off of this? We have already used up our normal summon. We now, oh my gosh, this just got way better. We got Bystials, we got Lubellion, Serenir, Banish, the Huggen, come forth. We are here. Regained, return back, draw a card, trigger the Golden Sword Soul, reborn the Quem, make another level 10 synchro. Now the Bystials is how we gain access to the Dispater. This is the main way, and now we are patering. Pater is going to be special summoning a banished monster, a good way to recycle your Golden Sword Soul. Come to me, and we still have Magna Hut. But instead of that, we're gonna go into a Coral Dragon, because with a level 4 non-tuner, the Coral Dragon will thus make another Synchro Shokan. We're gonna make a Magna Hut instead. We're gonna be linking them off into a Little Knight. The Coral Dragon does draw when being sent to the grave. Activate, come to me, slumber. What did we accomplish here? Quite a lot. Oh my gosh, there's a Lava Golem. This is Tenpai Dragon 0.5. Before Tenpai comes out, it's all about going second and winning going second. Now we have negate anything, we have destroy a monster in response to it activating, we have Little Knight banish an opposing monster, we have the Baldric banish in the grave, not really a disruption, we have Flashfire pop, so we have about 4 disruption plus max C. We could max C early to play around the inherent special summon of the Lava Golem, otherwise we're not going to get a draw off of that. Brock, it's not looking good for you. Lava Golem and Kaiju, the entire field's gone. Early max C, that's what I'm talking about. Whoop, there's the Lava Golem, can't normal summon or set though. The regain is being triggered to reborn a Bystial from the grave. Magna Hut activating to search for a dragon during the end phase. We're going to be equipping the water onto the Pater. We're going to return the Pater back to then summon a monster from the deck. Ash will negate all of that. And since we can't normal summon the Ha-Ray, we're just going to Kaiju over your Pater anyway. And as we now use the Ohime to add the Ceremony, Ceremony can special summon a 3rd summon under the Max C. What the heck are you doing? We're going to use the Ceremony to send from the deck. Now, before something is sent from the deck, we're going to pop the Ohime, because the Ohime can target the equip card in the grave, any equip card, and then we're going to apply it to a monster on the field. Now, this equip card states the equipped monster could not be destroyed by card effects. And what are you trying to do? You're trying to destroy me by a card effect. We could chain, equip, and be protected, but then we're maybe equipping a card that we did not intend to equip. So I do think we're going to send the Mikanko Dance. Mikanko Dance will reborn the Ha-Ray as you equip the water onto the Ohime. Thus, we could reflect 6,000 damage with the Lava Golem. Even better, 6,600 damage against the Kaiju. And let's see what we do. Yep. 6,600 reflect. Slumber could stop one of the attacks, though. So right now, we're at 66 potential 100 damage. We send... What the heck just happened? Equip, resolution, still destroyed. What? Cannot be destroyed by card effects? And you didn't equip it on yourself? Where did it equip to? The equipped monster, Ohime can equip to itself. What? You get to target and equip it to one monster on the field? Does it say who it was equipped to? You chose accidentally to equip to another monster? But it doesn't say in the duel log. What? You equipped it on the Kaiju? I mean, it's still there. Right, yeah. But why is it not in the duel log to say that? Okay, yeah, what the heck was that? Anyway, we got the Mikanko Dance searching for the Fire Dance, dispelling randomly discarding that Fire Dance, banishing cards off the top of the deck, regain triggering, returning the Ohime back in the deck to draw 1, reflect 0 battle damage as we are stopping the attack, trigger the fountain, return 3, draw 3. Let's go. Oh, you thought you could activate again? Oh, you think that's what happened? Okay. No. Max C, in response to that special summon of the Baldrake, you're out. Another Kaiju during the end phase, though. Now, how do we deal with that? Oh, yeah, can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effect. We could go for the back row. We could make a Chang Ying, non-target banish. That's a really good out to Mikanko. Had we equipped onto the Ohime, would we have lost anyway? Definitely. I think 100%. We still lost. So that equip onto the Kaiju didn't matter. Are you serious? Go. Winter Cherries. Your opponent has to control a monster, or at least more monsters than you do. You then quick effect dump this. You get to look at your opponent's extra deck after revealing one from your extra deck. This is a way to play against tier limit tier 0. You reveal your Kick Callus even though you're not playing tier limit, and then you banish their Kick Callus and they need a crime to add it back. So what do we randomly play? We have Promethean Princess to banish, but cherries against you, we could banish the Baron to floor. Sure, we have a Kick Cow, we got Mirror Jade. This dude's got everything in the extra deck. Let's go. We got some anti-Purrely. We are ready. Quem's going to send from the deck the Incredible Ecclesia. We're going to come forth and summon to outplay the... Oh my gosh. If we played Huggin, Zugio, if you put one Huggin into the extra deck, I mean, we would just not summon Huggin since we hard open the field spell, but still, Cherries looks at the Huggin, it banishes all copies of Huggin. All Huggins are gone. But you don't have Huggin. What should Zugio take out for Huggin? Help Zugio out. Is Natura Beast, like, is that needed? Evolzer Lars? Are you summoning a Damper Vampire? Like, can we toss a Huggin in here or what? All right, back to you. We are chilling because we are just trying to stop you from lethaling us. We're going to add a Mikanko Water with our Hidden Armory. Now, the Hidden Armory states we cannot normal summon for the rest of the turn, though. But we're going to special summon. We're going to spin you back, summon our untargetable Hugh Lee. You can't target it with anything. Reflect back 1,500 damage, searching for the Mikanko Spirit Walk. We can target a monster the opponent controls, equip it, and then deal, looks like we're going to have 1,000 damage here. We're just going to start banishing stuff off the top of their deck. Yeah, Axe of Fools, one of. Rondo, one of. Take control of a monster, negate a monster. Both are gone from the duel. Let's go, let's go. We're going to cherries again. What else do we cherries? Huh? Mirror Jade? Nah, I'm not playing that version, mate. Ain't no way. Get out of here. We're going to reborn the Ecclesia. It was a valiant effort, though. Off the top of the deck, we now have our Druid Swarm as the Max C negates. How do we deal with the Hugh Lee? Cannot be targeted. Cannot be destroyed by battle, cannot be destroyed by card effect. We attack into it, it reflects battle damage. I think Chang Ying is the way. You could Goddess. You could Goddess, you could Chang Ying. You can't even target the equip card that is making it untargetable and indestructible. Chang Ying's the play. That's all we gotta do, and we win. But what if the Spirit Walk steals the Chang Ying? Goddess is gonna be the ultimate way. That's what I think. We have to set up a Goddess. The trap is broken. Yeah, the trap is very good. So I think Chang... Ooh, we're doing this early. No? Unless we want to play around them making a Goddess. You have to remember, Zugio has looked at the extra deck twice. So Zugio knows what's in that extra deck. Mikanko Rivalry, come to me. Now, Mikanko Rivalry normally could take control of a monster and negate it. It can't do either. You can't equip Axe of Fools, you can't equip the Rondo, so what does the Rivalry even really do? We got the Coral Dragon, but we cannot discard to get poppin'. We are triggering the Fountain, we are returning, come back to me. Now, what's scary about playing Runick against Mikanko is we keep losing our battle phase, so how are we gonna end the duel? I feel like the trap should have been waited for the Chang Ying. Right? Unless we were really trying to play around Goddess. I don't know. I mean, now it's kind of a scoop phase, right? Non-target banish, you're out. We really had to save it for sucking up the Chang Ying. Why did we suck up the Tri-Edge? We were afraid of something? We already got rid of their Baron to floor. They can't trigger the Chang Ying before you suck it up. You're just going to suck it up before it even gets triggered. So, you know, but that's pretty much the end of that. We're going to be reborning the Banished Tri-Edge Master, come forth and summon Lubellion, Shoconning into Lubellion, setting up the Brand Regained, further Shoconning this up into an SP Little Knight on summon. We're going to be banishing from our own graveyard, triggering the Regain, returning it back in the deck to now draw 1, battle phase skipped. As long as we don't use our freezing curses to negate a monster, then we're in the clear to just end the duel next turn. We have a Ceremony, normal summon into a Scoop. Hugh Lee has fell down a hole. All right, 2-0 victory. Thank you to both of you. Appreciate you. Let's do it. Thank you, YouTube, for watching the top 16. We'll be continuing into the top 8 grand finale and the top deck list within the next video being uploaded tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go.